Hello and welcome to Wolf Lily Lodge. Please have a seat, relax, and enjoy the reading of the night. I'm Lycania Moonclaw, your hostess for the evening. Today, I'll be reading Claudia's character files from Tower of Fantasy. Simulacra Introduction. A tall High-Crows executor with a bit of a military demeanor. Her mastery over one-handed swords and mobility saw her on the front lines of difficult operations. But Claudia was sent to a medical facility after being severely injured in Operation Dark Apocalypse. File 1. Simulacra Unlock Log. Claudia grew up in a warm and loving home under the care of her father, a High-Crows executor, and her mother, a High-Crows medical department researcher. Wishing to follow in her parents' footsteps, Claudia set her eyes on becoming an executor from a very early age. She sought to protect others and preserve justice like her kind and courageous father, who served as her hero, idol, and inspiration. Through rigorous training and endless studying, she slowly drew closer to her goal set forth by her father's example. To become a top-notch executor and fight at her father's side was Claudia's greatest aspiration. Fate, however, had other plans for her. During a perilous mission, Claudia's father made the ultimate sacrifice, giving his life to protect his allies. Since Claudia and her mother were not privy to the executor order's internal affairs at the time, she was only given minimal details surrounding the mission that resulted in her father's death. Her father's death while in the line of duty was a turning point in Claudia's life. With her mother's support, she applied to join the executor order, and gained entry into their ranks earlier than most. While carrying out her orders from High-Crows, she also dedicated herself to investigating the circumstances surrounding her father's death. During the course of her research, the details of a clandestine project known as Operation Dark Apocalypse slowly began to surface. Without a moment's hesitation, Claudia dove straight into the jaws of the beast, determined to expose the heirs of Ida and their sinister plot. File 2. Nice to meet you. On the outside, Claudia is prone to giving others the impression of being cold and arrogant, but the top-notch executor is not nearly as unapproachable as she seems. Those who are familiar with Claudia know that she's extremely passionate and even overly kind in some regards. Something as small as sorting scraps, all the way up to redeeming justice on the streets, Claudia has always been willing to help and protect others. She even takes on additional patrol duties while not on missions. Her passion for justice, along with her staunch desire to aid others, has made her a hero in the eyes of many. Traveling the world year-round while carrying out missions for High-Crows, Claudia has become well-versed in the cultures and traditions of various locales. Her mannerisms and behavior inadvertently reveal her vast worldly knowledge and experience. In addition, as a natural-born leader, Claudia is often chosen to spearhead the missions to which she is assigned. Careful and meticulous, she calmly assesses any situation and handles it rationally and efficiently. As a result, her fellow executors are often thrilled to be on assignment with her. She is even seen as a goddess of victory, a guarantee that everything will proceed smoothly and without fail. The other executors of High-Crows admire Claudia for her ability and personality and are even drawn to her and her leadership. Some even see her as an idol and one of humankind's greatest hopes for the future. File 3. A helpful soul. At first, finding a weapon that suited Claudia perfectly was no easy task. Even without weapons, she could destroy most objects around her. She was obsessed with swordsmanship and wanted more than anything to apply the art of the blade in hands-on combat scenarios. However, due to Claudia's destructive and somewhat savage fighting style, finding her a perfect weapon proved to be a Herculean task, It was not until she tried and destroyed countless weapons that she finally found the perfect one, Red Lotus. The Red Lotus is a weapon created purely by mistake in the Microsoft weapons department. During experimental trials for the weapon, an accident led to a minor explosion in the laboratory. While sorting out the wreckage, Microsoft workers discovered the weapon lying in the rubble, perfectly intact. Not only did it have incredibly destructive capabilities, but it also could not be destroyed by any means known to the researchers. After assessing its safety and stability, the department decided to seal away the blade and forbade its use under any circumstances. That is, until Claudia came along. As the researchers scratched their heads, wondering how to provide Claudia with a suitable weapon, one person suggested testing her compatibility with the forbidden blade. Thus, Claudia and the Red Lotus were finally introduced to one another. Naturally, the weapon had no such name at the given time. With the department's assistance, Claudia began the test of this special blade. Her solid grasp of swordsmanship, coupled with her impressive level of skill, demonstrated incredible handling and brought out its full potential. In addition, Claudia could unleash every ounce of her power without worrying about yet another broken weapon. Simply put, the two were a match made in heaven. As for its name, Claudia believed that her new weapon was a living, sentient being, as such deserved a memorable name. At her mother's suggestion, Claudia chose her father's favorite flower as her blade's namesake. The Red Lotus symbolizes fortitude and composure, and unyielding courage with love in the face of adversity. File for promises. Claudia's body functions are perfectly normal, yes? Yes. But even so, she has yet to awaken from her coma. Claudia would never regret the decision she made during that mission. She was fully aware that the heirs of Ida had laid a desperate trap, and planned to take her down along with themselves if necessary. Even so, she chose to approach the enemies alone and try to reason with them, while the rest of her team attempted to rescue the heirs' hostages. Every single hostage and executor made it out safely. All except for Claudia. While confronting the heirs of Ida, she was gravely injured by the effects of Operation Dark Apocalypse and had to be rescued by the other executors and rushed to Microsoft for emergency medical treatment. Though her physical injuries were mended, her mind was trapped within a deep coma. There she lay day after day, in a stifling and oppressive silence broken only by the sound of her slow, even breathing. Like every other bedridden patient, her body began to atrophy over time. If she could see herself, she would likely shake her head and smile bitterly at everything. The state of her physique, the unfamiliarity of her once proud swordsmanship, and the loss of many of her most trusted executors. Even so, she could never regret the decisions she made. She has always been determined to press onward. This was her father's expectation and her means of executing justice. But for now, there is only the rhythmic uniform sound of breathing in her hospital room. These are all the character files for Claudia I have for you today. Please have a nice day and remember, you're always welcome at Wolf Lily Lodge.